I found a love for me. Darling, just dive.
Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Umi Mastura binti Saarani, S44267. Today I would like to talk about statement of need. First of all, for a safe and reliable power system, electricity demand should be met by a combination of base load and peaking power plant. Nowadays, the type of power plant that are capable of providing peaking duty in terms of technology and economic are the open cycle gas turbine
And follow my lead.
and hydroelectric power plants.
A girl, beautiful and sweet.
After that, reliable fuel source to make sure effective and reliable power plants. The fuel source should be readily accessible and not subject to market volatility and availability. For example, coal-fired thermal plants. And possibly hydro reserves from Sarawak will be expected to meet baseload demand growth in the next 10 years. Lastly, reducing carbon emission. The benefit of choosing hydropower instead of open cycle gas turbine is the potential reduction in carbon emission. This is the part of me and I will pass it to my next partner.
Next, we will go to project description. This is our project location, which is located at the north of existing Kenyadam in Kuala Berang, Musang, Hulu Terengganu Roadway at about 60 km west of Kuala Terengganu. Project pollution control measure. How we can control the pollution? We can limit the movement of vehicle and equipment, then minimize the area exposed by progressive stabilization of work as completed, prevention the temporary grazing or other treatment to distribute area. Next, construction of slit strap by use of hay bales in green edge line or elsewhere. Use the slit fences. Control over surface runoff by construction of sedimentation retention pond. Pollution control plan. The contractor shall prepare the submit the pollution control plan to the supervising engineer at least 30 days before commencing work on the site. The importance of designing and maintaining soil erosion and sediment control measure is stressed. Contractor shall at the same time obtain from the Department of Environment (DOE) license to discharge water from the site. Environmental protection. Strictly environmental control will be applied to all work and activity undertaken by the contractor and his subcontractor. Undertake all the work in an environmentally sensitive manner. Take all the necessary action to ensure that the water quality in Sungai Terengganu Mati and Sungai Tumbat is not adversely affected. Ensure that all the time of the work site is maintained in a neat and tidy condition. Environmental protection. A contractor shall arrange that all his employees and those of his subcontractor are trained to ensure that they have a basic understanding of environmental feature of the work site and environment. Made aware and any other environmental matter which are deemed to be necessary. Receive training in the identification of archaeological artifacts, spatial flora and fauna. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Siti Musliha binti Muhammad Isa, S44023. Today, I will talk about the project option. Before existing TNB hydroelectric in Hulu Terengganu, these three things, which is Firstly is fossil fuel, second is primarily gas, and the last one is coal. Thus, customers need to pay more because the cost of sources for generate energy is very expensive. So, hydroelectric is the alternative way to reduce the cost and at the same time can supply efficient electricity for all customers every day. This project are located 20 km away from Saddle Dam A of Tasik Kenyir, which is situated in northwest of Kenyir Dam. Before project location is chosen, three major aspects have been considered. Firstly is socio-economic, second is public health, and the last one is ecotourism. For the socio-economic, orang asli are concerned about their life surrounding environment that will give negative impact to their livelihood. For the public health, the survey show villages and community at rural area needed a clean water sources in their daily life to obtain a good health. So, this project will give positive impact, especially to community area the hydroelectric. For ecotourism, the beautiful scenery of Tasik Kenyir also the factor that increase number of tourists. Number of tourists will increase every year, and at the same time provide economic for village and community on that area. That's all the part of me. I will pass it to my next partner. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Usharani Anapuha Ramamutu, matrix number S44279. So I will be presenting 6.2 baseline monitoring. Okay, so the components that were monitored are regional geology, geochemical explore, geology and geotechnical property, soil erosivity, surface water hydrology, ambient air, water quality and noise. So we start with regional geology. So the parameters used for regional geology were shear joints, main shear stresses, and peak ground acceleration. So for the methodology, we used joint orientation and deep reading measurement, a stereographic plot, and lastly seismo tectonic model. Second, for the geology and geotechnical property, the parameters used were siltstone strength, volcanic rock strength, joint permeability, frequency of leakage rates, permeability of intake specimens, stability of ridge, rock strength, and lastly material content. So the sampling methodology used for those parameters are point load test, uniaxial compressive strength test, uniaxial strength test, water pressure test, isotropic consolidation test, stability analysis, and lastly standard penetration test. And moving on to geochemical explore, the parameters used for those are metal concentration in stream and soil sediments, hydraulic conductivity, pH, organic matter content, particle size distribution, sand, silt and clay contents, and lastly soil texture. So the methodology used for metal concentration in stream and soil sediments is metal concentration analysis, and for the soil analysis, the parameters were hydraulic conductivity onwards. And for the soil erosivity, the parameter used was annual rate of erosion on field slope, and the methodology used for that parameter was USLE, which stands for Universal Soil Loss Equation, and lastly erosivity index, hydraulic conductivity onwards. And for the soil erosivity, the parameter used was annual rate of erosion on field slope, and the methodology used for that parameter was USLE, which stands for Universal Soil Loss Equation, and lastly erosivity index. So for the surface water hydrology, The parameters used were sampling site locations, maximum rainfall, flow discharge, and distance measurement. And the methodology used for that parameters was GPS, frequency analysis, flow meter, and range finder. And for ambient air, the parameters used were carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, total suspended particulates, and particulate matter in the size of 10. And the sampling methodology used for those parameters were sampling time for 1 hour, West-Gag method, Grease-Saltzman method, ambient air sampling and analysis. So for water quality, the parameters used were chromium, cadmium, copper, nickel, iron, lead, manganese, arsenic, mercury, ammoniacal nitrogen, phosphate, nitrate, nitrite, chloride, sulfate, fluoride, turbidity, total suspended solid, BOD, COD, oil and grease, temperature, conductivity, total dissolved solids, salinity, DO, and pH. And the methodology used for those parameters was in situ measurement, which stands for DO, pH, conductivity, salinity, temperature, grab sampling, laboratory analysis, and water quality index. So lastly, we have noise. The parameters used for noise were LA maximum, LA minimum, LA 10, LA 50, and LA 90. And lastly, we have original fluctuating noise of the same given time period. And the methodology used for those parameters were sound level, acoustic, instrument placed 1.2 meter above ground level, daytime and nighttime monitoring, and lastly background noise levels measurement. That's it. Thank you.
Zainatul Atma binti Abdul Rahman, metric number S44413. I will present the existing environment. Land use. Sediments are located along the main road to Pangkalan Gawi. They are surrounded by rubber and oil palms, small holdings, and orchards. The geology and soils. Soils in the area are formed from parent rock of granite, metasedimentary, and volcanic rock. The residual soil from the weathering of granitic rock is characterized by the reddish yellow in color with texture of sand, while the soil developed from the metasedimentary and volcanic rock. The pH value of soils in the study area is low. For the climate is hot and humid with a high average annual rainfall, temperature, evaporation, and humidity. For the water quality, there are 23 stations were selected at the Sungai Terengganu Mati and Sungai Tembat. 2 water quality scenarios were stimulated for this study, which is the impact of logging activity based on the clear, felling, and selective logging method. Second, the impact of Puah Tembat dam construction with the respective to the river carrying capacity. For the air quality and noise. Air quality, which is the parameters, particulate matter, 10, TSP, CO, NOx, and also SOx are measured below the Malaysian recommended air quality guidelines criteria. For the noise are generated during the construction phase is expected to increase the existing noise level. For the socio-economy, there involved 270 households in the villages was conducted to determine their socio-economy profile as well as extending their reflection on the proposed project. Ecotourism. The study area is blessed with a scenic beauty where the view of mountains, range, forest covers, lakes, islands, and man-made structure can be seen. The number of tourists coming to the Tasik Kenyir has been declining since 2000 but began to rise again after 2005.
Hi everyone, my name is Nurul Izzati Ifa binti Zainal Abidin. As a consultant of environmental science, today I would like to tell you about the little bit about my project location and existing land use. My proposed project area are located at Kuala Berang, which is north of Kenyir Dam in Kuala Berang. These area are located about 65 km west of Kuala Terengganu and 50 km from Bandar Gua Musang, Hulu Terengganu. The project area are located 20 km away from Sadler Dam A. Next, existing land use. Existing land use have 8 component of them, such as the forests are heavily forested, particularly in Tembak and Buah. Next, the importance of the local community as food sources and cash income. After that, forests are need to protected from the desirable development. Next, agriculture. At the proposed project area is agriculture has a commercial agriculture. Next, main commercial crop which is in oil palm by Risda. After that, agriculture has a traditional village that are plant rubber tree and fruits. Next, aquaculture. Aquaculture as one of the aquaculture center of for the freshwater fishes such as ikan tilapia, ikan baung and so on. Aquaculture has no significant effect on Terengganu. That's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, I'm Shazwan Yantira, S4419. Today I would like to present environmental impact assessment hydroelectric project Hulu Terengganu. Potential significant impact. EIA consultants shall predict the potential impact to the environment, either it is current or future impacts. Evaluation include the consequences of all phases of the project implementation. Several impacts needs to be considered, such as physical, socio-economic impact and biological environment. Under physical environment, consider air quality, water quality and noise. Biological environment covers terrestrial flora impact and terrestrial fauna and wildlife. In socio-economic, it considers job opportunities, public health and flood and damage. Physical environment equality possess potential equality issues to the surrounding area. It may arise throughout construction and particularly during the long-term operation of the project. Greenhouse gases expected to be released from deforestation activity. Water quality. Presence of workers at the construction site will generate sewage. Discharge of wastewater from the workers' camps is expected to cause degradation of river water quality in terms of increasing in levels of BOD, total solids, detergent, oil and grease. Noise and vibration impacts during the clearing and construction phase will be assessed. The site is presently surrounded by the movement of the heavy vehicles, rocks, blasting and operation of machines. For biological environment, terrestrial flora impact activities upgraded during pre-construction and construction stage would influence the vegetation and especially the weeds and understory species that are present along the roads. Terrestrial fauna and wildlife, routine activities such as survey and investigation, presence of researchers in the field, clearing several areas for camps and tracks on wildlife considered at minimal. Socio-economic, proposed project is quite substantial, especially during the peak project construction stage. Flood and damage, based on the projected probable maximum flood or dam break scenario, the total area that will affect is more than 30,000 hectares at downstream of surrounding area. Last one is mitigation measure. Type of surface protection to prevent direct impact of rainfall shall be applied to minimize the amount of sediment entering the rivers. Erosion control plans must be prepared and implemented. It should be submitted to the local authority for approval, and the erosion control plan includes sedimentation ponds. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Manara Demirada. The implementation of mitigation and abatement measures are important in management activities. It is the effective implementation of mitigation measures at the post-EIS stage of EIA process that can address the predict environmental and social impact of the project.
Our project also highlighted the mitigation and abatement measures of a few items include the mitigation measures during pre-construction, the mitigation at operation stages, mitigation during construction, foundation treatment, land use and infrastructure, water quality, air pollution and transportation, noise and vibration, hydrology and dam break mitigation, terrestrial flora, fauna, community, economy and social culture, public health, and finally ecotourism.
Environmental impact assessment for hydroelectric project Hulu Terengganu. Residual impacts is a result of work done when construction and operations of the project has been made. The type of residual impacts are fish and fish habitat, vegetation and ecological communities, wildlife resources and current use of land and resources for traditional purpose. Thank you.
My name is Nurul Izzati University. My metric number is S4368. I will present about environmental management plan. This action plan contains necessary arrangement, procedures, steps and measures to achieve environmental protection, pollution control, regulatory compliance, enhancement of the environmental management, and continuous assessment of the effectiveness of the EMP. There are four components of the environmental management plan. First is organization structure, which is Hulu Terengganu Hydroelectric Project Environmental Management Unit. They are required to ensure the successful implementation of the EMP for the recommendation management practice and procedure to be followed during post-construction and operational phase of the project. Second is the environmental monitoring and surveillance program during the construction and operation. First is a logging activity, such as inventory stage. Second is pre-construction activities, such as line cutting. Then the construction activities, such as stream crossing. And last, the post-construction and operational activities, such as maintenance. Third is a water catchment management plan. Most forest areas of the Puah and Tembak catchment are potential to be considered as a production forest. There might be several impact and damage due to the disturbance. If active harvesting should be taken place, then the sustainable harvesting procedures such as a reduced impact logging method should be employed. Construction of the holiday facilities such as a hotel, chalet, restaurants and access routes will take place because the area are potential to be developed into recreational areas for tourism. And lastly, this emergency response plan must be prepared for the emergency situation during the construction and operation of the project. Its objective is to human life, prevention or minimization of injury and reduce asset. The program is based on the requirements of general intent of the following documents such as Environmental Quality Act 1994, TNB Corporate Occupational Safety and Health and Environmental Policy, August 197. The aim of the emergency response plan implementation is to integrate the ERP into company operations, training employees and evaluating the